Okay, we're recording. So we've had a couple of great closeout calls from the 28-day challenge. And, they didn't necessarily come on board as clients, but they have a really, really great idea about what Optavia is about and super impressed with all they got out of it. All I'm hearing is people very happy with it and got a lot out of it. I'm wondering if anybody has had any non-clients turn into clients. And if they haven't now, I think it's just important when you take them out of the Facebook group to definitely put them on your newsletter. And I think we're going to build momentum with this. I mean, I think the next time we run it, the people who loved it, will bring other people. And so maybe we didn't get a slew of people turning over this time, but I think we have to be consistent and do this again. And, now that we get it, it'll be so much easier to run again. So does anyone else have any input on their closing out?
Yeah, I have one. I have my closeout actually scheduled for Thursday, and you guys have probably seen some comments and posts from her. Her name is Nettie Kent.
She's a coach, Kathy.
Yes, yes, and I'm trying because, and it's really interesting because of course she's really the first person I've really full on coached. So I have a little like soft spot in my heart for her, and she's been just so engaged, and I feel like it's been so great for her that it's like, yes, I just don't want her to leave. So I'm trying to sort of like encourage her that way, because I feel like yes, I would love to have her, coaching, because I think she's wonderful. But like, I'm almost like a little teary-eyed because I want it like more for her even than I do for me.
You only had the one coach?
So Kathy, have you done a tip call or celebration call with her, with your coach?
Yes, we did. Karen and I did a celebration call with her, which went like really well, and it went really long, and it was really great. And like I said, I have a scheduled call with her. Unfortunately, it can't be until Thursday. And, I've been sort of planting the seeds. Nora dropped a couple of seeds along the way, which I added on because she's just been so engaged. And on top of that, she's done a great job. I mean, so the other thing that her and I like were great together is because her challenge was not drinking soda, which of course was my whole thing that I came to Optavia with. Mama, and coming in to say I love you too, baby. And bye, Audrey. And she was really super like dedicated to that, and like hadn't had a soda the whole time. And of course, she was kind of making it like, oh, I'm only gonna do it 28 days and then we'll see. And I'm like, no, keep going. Like, so I basically, even in a message this morning, laid it out and said, you really got to think about, coaching, or starting the program, or both, because she's even posting things this morning and stuff. So it's like, I don't want to see her leave because I feel like she needs the group at this point. So
Kathy, are you hoping that she becomes an Optavia client or coach or both, or have you had the conversation? And so one thing, I just want to share something that I've learned, because I've done a lot of planting seeds for people about coaching, and I sit and wonder why they don't come on board as a coach. And they say, oh, not sure, sounds good. What I learned recently is what I've been doing is dripping and never inviting them to explore coaching. So it's like dripping on somebody about their health, and like somebody who's not a client, and you talk about health and you talk about health and you talk about health, but you never invite them to do a health assessment. So what I've learned is that's the same thing with coaching. I'm doing so much seed planting and so much dripping, and not actually saying, would you be open to exploring what health coaching might look like? So that's just something I've actually learned recently, to use that as an invitation to explore, because they don't know if they're interested if we haven't done the exploration yet, right?
Right. And she does, like, she has like a weight loss goal, but she wanted to do the soda thing first. It was like, that's fine and that's great because you're working on your healthy habits. and like I said, I mean, we've tripped, in different posts and stuff. And even when Karen and I had her on the phone, we sort of said like, wow, you sound like a coach. And so I guess my ultimate for her would be for her to come on, do the program, and then either simultaneously coach or coach whenever she feels like she wants to jump into it.
So
But bigger than
what does
that,
she
it's like,
want? What does she want?
well, that's what we're going to discuss on Thursday. And, bigger than that, I just feel like she has gotten so much out of the group and has given so much to the group. So I feel like however it works for her to stay in the group that best suits what she wants to do going forward is sort of what I want for her.
Well, share with her that you're going to miss her being in the group. I think you were a great asset to the group. I'm so sorry we have to take out people who are not Optavia clients. The Facebook group really is for our clients. I'd love you to continue to be part of it. Are you interested in doing the Optavia program? I mean, you can invite somebody, like you can outright ask them, like, right?
Yeah, and I basically, have said to her or sent her a message saying, we have to wrap up the 28-day challenge, and and I said you've been such a, you've done so great, and plus you've been such an inspiration. You've added so much to the group that I would love for you to and I just basically said, so I want you to think about what you want to do now or where you want to go, and I would love for you to either do the program or come aboard as a coach or both. So just think about that, no pressure, and we'll talk about it on Thursday.
So Kathy, I know Karen cannot be on that call on Thursday, but
Yeah.
I'd be happy to if you want me to join you.
Okay, maybe that would be a great idea. And she's been so what I love about her is she's been so so open and willing to sort of be so engaged, which I'm so like over the moon about. So I think she would be fine with that, Nora. I think she would probably even appreciate it.
Yeah, and I can help you navigate through that conversation with her.
So it's at 6:30 East Coast time. I don't know if you can do that. Could you do that?
Yeah.
3:30?
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
And anybody that has any coaches on their team, please make sure they watch the training that just happened at 8:30, the do's and don'ts of coaching. I think that was just so chock full of stuff that every coach, old or new, anybody with an ID should be watching.
That was one of the best ever. I mean, I found myself madly taking notes, and I didn't think I would.
Same
Yeah.
here.
No baloney, right? It was
No baloney.
This was it. This is how you
Well,
coach. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
I think it would be nice if every coach with an ID watched that and embodied that and did that, because they're really just trying to standardize what we do. And I think it's wonderful. Yeah. So anyway, I posted it on the Team Warrior page. If you have any coaches who don't go on the page, I'm going to send an email. I'm going to actually send an email to every coach in the organization. Video. If I could figure out how to get the video into the email.
Yeah.
Because it's not a regular link, right?
No, you can copy the link.
Okay.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I was going to say on an iPad, that's easy to do. Those things are easy to do on iPads because there's a little arrow to export in different
Yeah, I
formats.
don't have it on an iPad.
Yeah.
So anything else about the challenge, since we're wrapping it up, and anybody else want to say anything about that?
I'm here. I'm listening.
Did you want to add anything, Jack?
Yeah, I did a bunch of exit interviews, and I have one woman who doesn't want to leave, and so she's gonna get her husband on plan.
So she could stay in the group.
And she hasn't commented once, and she loves it. She's like, I don't comment. I just go on every day, and I love it. So what I'm thinking is, we created this really great space for people, and I think we have to discuss the group as a whole and each take on a responsibility, much like we had in the challenge, so that it does get the love that it's just had.
Are you talking about continuing to keep our Facebook page very active the way it's been over the 28 days?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With engaging things. Like, yeah. I think that's what, I think that's what people love. And it's the feedback I'm getting. I mean, so we only had like 5 people in there that weren't doing the program. One of them is going on 3 and 3. One of them has a contract that she's doing with Revolutionize Macro Planning, and she's waiting for that to be done, and then she's going to come on board with us and maybe coach. One of them is going to get her husband on plan because she wants to stay in the group. She really had no weight to lose, so the plan is not for her. But she loved it. She got more active. She got more fit. She paid more attention to her water and her activity. All of her goals, she met her goals. One woman was already on plan before, and so she's going to get to stay in there because she was already a client.
Yeah.
She just maintains. And then there was one other. Who was it? I can't remember.
Scott Young thought it was just 28.
Oh, we had a guy that thought it was just a 28-day challenge and now over. So he sent us a text like something about
The challenge is over now.
the challenge is over. Like, maybe I'll pick back up in January. See ya. And we were like, no, wait. So he ordered another month. I don't know. There's just, it's just been a very good way to have conversation. And people really understand who we are. And maybe it's not now, but now at least they know what it's all about.
When it comes out, we should just be posting more within this page.
Right. So that's, Mike and I have been talking about, how do we keep it consistent? Do we each keep, I love, is Karen Mays on?
No.
But I love the recipe every day. And I love the before and after transformation story every day.
But it doesn't have to be every day now. It could be twice a week.
Right. But I think it should be, and I think, we could always say, yes, we'll keep it active, but I think it should be strategized. If you take like social media marketing classes, everything kind of has its place. And this goes along with that. If we're layering for people to join our coaching community and to be even more involved, this is the way to do it. We have the means.
Maybe we can keep this sort of the same things that people have been assigned already, but maybe, like Mike said, not every day. But and that leaves more room.
Information Tuesday or Food Friday or something.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Like we could hashtag them.
Like definitely a recipe, I think, is great. I think the before and after, and I think if we're not all doing it every day, it's opening up more for maybe clients to initiate conversation, where if we're doing it so intensely, they might be a little intimidated. But
I don't think they're initiating conversation. I think they go on to celebrate. I think as coaches, we say, why don't you go post that in the group? That's really inspirational. Or why don't you go ask the group? But I don't think people are going out there doing that on their own. I mean, that's not my experience.
I think sometimes there are people that are just spontaneously posting, not a lot, I think they were doing it more before the challenge, because I think we sort of took over the posting during the challenge. So I think if we back off a little bit, but still have that structure, I think that would be great for our group.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting kind of to see where they take off from here too. And let's try to empower them to see if they kind of can get more interactive in it too, our clients.
Yeah, and that's why I did that. My why is bigger than. I don't know if you guys saw that. Like last week, I started it, and I plan on posting it on Mondays. I just didn't do it yet today, but my why was bigger than blank this weekend.
I like that.
Like let's
really
kick
good.
off Monday talking about all the things that we overcame. And then I'm hoping that will catch on. And then when people think of something, they're going to say, oh, my why is bigger than going to my mother-in-law's for Sunday dinner.
Then they'll want to post that Monday morning. They'll be excited to post what their why was bigger than if they're seeing that consistently every Monday.
Yes. So that's
I like that.
We start thinking about stuff like that, and everyone can kind of do their own thing, like make a post about something, and then it'll encourage people to do similar things.
We could do that on a Friday too, and that was done in the challenge too. So hey, the weekend's coming up. Anyone have anything that they need help strategizing?
Yeah, strategizing. That should be like a Friday morning post.
One of the things that I've tried to start on my personal page is just like, some of you that are friends of mine might see like Focus Friday. Like, I mean, it doesn't have to always be some kind of catchy thing, but I just thought of like, I liked it, and, because the weekends are tough, and to have people focus going into the weekend.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's great. Yeah. And we give them, and then at least it's in a place. Like, I think what was so great about this challenge was there was a place for everybody, and it was 100 comments. And as coaches, we could see it, and we could be on top of it, and we could respond to it. So I loved the structure of it. And what I got from everybody is that they loved it, and they got a lot out of it, and they hit their goals. And if they didn't hit their goals, they came really close, and now they're working on reevaluating the next set.
And I think we had talked to one exit interview person, and said something about, I don't know, just asking if she ever felt like anything was being like sold to her through the month, and she was like, absolutely not. That would have been such a turnoff. This was just great information, and it was so, I mean, really, really high accolades from people. And then, we could say, so now you see what Optavia is all about. Now you know why we don't, now you know why we say it's not just a diet. Oh, yes. So I think it's great. I think that the mistake would be not to rerun another one in January, because I think we can very easily go back to the people who did it, and I'm sure they're going to want to do it again, and maybe they will bring friends this time, and we're going to be that much more experienced and more comfortable with doing the goal sheet and doing the midway check-in and doing the exit interview, and then we'll do it again 3 months later, and I think this is going to be a really, really, really good perk for this team.
Yeah, me too.
So I think the hard work was done.
I'm kind of curious to see, after we've done the exit interviews, like I had a lot of people become clients when we were offering it, that we were going to have a 28-day challenge. That's when I got most of my new people to become clients, compared to inviting them to come in for free and then seeing if they'll become a client. So,
Well,
I mean, I think we're still dripping on, I think we're dripping still on a few that I have, but I was just curious with everyone else, like, did they see themselves having possible clients ahead of before the challenge coming on, or now after?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we had 10 new clients come on board for the challenge. Brand new people that had never done it before, had never had a health assessment before. We had, I'm looking at my thing now.
How many of those are continuing on month 2?
All but one, who didn't even finish month 1.
Yep.
So she quit 2 weeks in, she moved, she packed the food, it ended up in a box, she got off track, and then when she found it, it was, I don't really think this is for me. And
well, that's fantastic. Okay. You had 10 people come on board for the challenge and 9 come for a second month. I mean, that's
Crazy good.
it's crazy good. It's
and
crazy good.
just to put it into dollar sense, I mean, really, that's $1,100. It's 11. That's like $2,000 in 2 months. Am I right?
Yeah. But then we also had 1, 2, 3, 5 old clients come back brand new that haven't been on in over a year. And of them, 3 are still on and continuing.
Well, I got to say, you put a lot of time into this, but I think you got paid well for your time.
No, I think we really did. And all of the other people that were just in the challenge, it's not lost on them.
Right.
Like, so we had like 10 people in the challenge that didn't do the program. 2 of those now became clients, and the other 8 know what we do. One of them asked me to get her, she won one of the prizes. So instead of having an account, I'm giving her a box of bars. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, well, are you ordering? Can maybe you get me like 2 other things and then let me see. So she's kind of going to do a 3 and 3 without having to order. And she's a good friend of mine. So I'm going to do that, because if she likes it, then she's going to order next month. So, there's a lot of different ways that this plays out. And yes, like I definitely, Jane, I'm going to go back and I'm going to use this for brand new people in December. So December's got to be strong in pushing this challenge for January. And generally speaking, December's not a great month. So if you can get 4, 5, 6 people committed to the challenge in January to purchase in December, you're golden going in
Just purchase in December
for it to start
Yeah.
in January. Yeah. So
And
that's,
Jackie, I had people say whenever you do the next challenge, make sure you include me. So
yeah.
come December, they're really going to probably need the program.
Yeah. And they're going to have new goals. And if they were in it before, you know, they're going to have new goals and they're going to know how it works, and they're going to invite people now. And they're going to say, you know, how many times do we all do something for the first time? I did Meltdown Challenge completely alone by myself the first time because I had no idea how to share it with people because I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, I'll test it. I'll see. All of these people are now going to think of people that need this.
Mhm.
And they're going to do a lot of the hard work for us. So I think January's is going to be even bigger. We had 200
yeah.
new people. Like it was a huge bump in our group.
Yeah.
So we're just going to build on that momentum.
Yep.
I have one random person that has already told me that they would be interested in the next challenge, who I don't even know, who I reached out to on some other group from all of you guys telling me to do all these things. And she posted something about weight loss and, oh, wouldn't it be great if there was a group for this? So I was like, okay, well, we don't have to form that from scratch. And reached out from her, didn't hear back from her from ages, because I think when you're not friends with that person, like you don't really see their message right away, or like it kind of gets buried. So then she came back to me and she goes, oh my God, I just saw this now. Like, let me know if you do it again. I would totally be interested.
Good. Well, tell her we will.
So I'm gonna make a post in the Journey group, and I'm gonna ask anybody who participated in the challenge to comment with amount of weight they lost, and then I'm gonna do a tag. And if you guys had people in the challenge, tag them, and I'm gonna do a tally. And this way you can post about that on your personal pages. So that has worked for us in the past. When we did a Meltdown Challenge, we had one Meltdown group lose like, I don't know, 217 pounds or something in a month. And it's a really great post. And we could also say other things reported as a side effect, you know, were, and then list all those things that people said they got out of the challenge.
Mhm.
Good idea.
Yeah, like top 10 things that our participants said this challenge gave them or something. I don't know, but let's see what kind of numbers we can create. Let's see. Well, and I'll just say, if you want to share, we're going to try and do a running tally of amount of weight lost in the 28 days.
Do you think that you should say anything about like somehow that it would indicate who did the 5 and 1? Like I mean, the first thing I was thinking, say what, you know, and what eating plan, or you could just say, and I don't know if this is a good idea or not, and mention if you did one of our Optavia eating plans.
What's better, Janet, is if we all as coaches pay attention and comment on the people that we know are on plan, and say something like, that's the magic of the 5 and 1, or like, I don't think we ask them that, because then I think people are going to be like, on my own, exclamation point. Like, we don't want any of that.
Right.
Like, let's just maybe us encourage that on our back end. Like, you know, I know how much you love that chocolate mint bar or something. We could comment.
Did you ever think the 5 and 1 would work so well, or something
Yes.
like that?
Yeah. And then it's not so, you know, let us know what you did, because a lot of those other people are going to be pulled out. So I should probably make the post now. I'm going to hand this to Mike and let him finish up, but I'm here listening.
Go pay your bills.
I know.
I would also say, because I had somebody say to me, make sure you reach out. Like, she's going to do it on her own. She knows she's being out of the group, but she's like, make sure you reach out to me at the end of the month, which is like next week or the week after. So be sure to stay in contact with these people when there is no more Journey page, that they might feel like they're missing out on something. So like, I know that this person will become a client. It's just a matter of when. I had a story to share. I had one sister, when she found out that we were having a challenge, that she became a client, and she put in her second order. And then I said, well, who would you like to bring along with you to get healthy, or who are the 5 people you'd like to invite to our challenge? So she started inviting. So her sister, I had a health assessment, came on to our 28-day challenge. And so they were both in the challenge, and they come from a family where this could benefit them, not only their healthy mind, their healthy body, their healthy finances, the full trilogy. And so the one that, one of the sisters that is my client, she's down 14 pounds after the challenge and being on the 5 and 1. And the other sister is just like blown away. And she's like, I think, I won't be surprised, because she's like, I don't know how I'm going to get along without this challenge. So she filled out her goal sheet from the beginning, was very proactive. I checked in with her all along, and then she did her closing, her new goal sheet after the challenge. And she's like, I really want to do this, and I'm going to be substitute teaching soon, so I'll be able to afford it. And more importantly, I'm hoping that my husband will then see how it's really working with me, and he'll want to become a client. So it's kind of interesting when you have one that's doing the 5 and 1 and the person that is not on the 5 and 1, how they see how the 5 and 1 works, that they think, oh my gosh, this is no joke. This is happening.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. That is great. If 2 people are doing it and they know each other, and one is doing the 5 and 1, one is they're going to see what the results are.
Mm-hmm.
So good. All right. Well, that was great. It's 9:30, so I'm gonna